Big Chicken Morning Show with Jazzy McBee on the People Station V103, the ATL's #1 for hip hop, R&B, and throwbacks. What's happening,
Yes,
sis?
that's right. This is what's happening right here.
This is absolutely. We are delivered.
Yes.
We are delivered.
Almost.
Honored and privileged to have these wonderful people sitting in front of us, mostly responsible for the Deliverance on Netflix, August 30th. You need to stream it, watch it again and again and again and again. I will start from furthest from my right. Caleb McLaughlin is in the building. How are you, sir?
Hey, Caleb.
You good?
Good.
Sitting right next to him, his mom in the movie, Andra.
Hello, hi.
Beautiful.
And the guy who's behind the scenes, always making things happen, the director of this particular situation, Mr. Lee Daniels. How are you, sir?
Thank you, the director of this particular situation.
Okay, I know that's right.
This particular situation. I like that.
The director of this particular situation.
That's very, very WDAS Philadelphia,
Old
1978.
school throwback.
Yes.
Please believe it. We've
Love
been
it.
around the block a couple times. This isn't, y'all scary.
Very scary.
Why y'all being scary?
I know.
He's like, I know.
Scary.
Like,
Well, yeah,
we expected that, but
yeah.
reading the
different
synopsis
kind
of the
of
story,
scary.
it's a
Yeah,
different,
definitely different.
because it's based on true events,
It's
right?
based on true events,
Right.
yes. But I switched it up a little bit.
You did.
You know, just because I believe that spirits, both good and bad, come on you. And so I just changed her mom in the film to white because I wanted to explore what a biracial girl goes through having a white mom. And I just didn't want them spirits on me, you know?
I know, that's right.
You know, I didn't even want to do the movie because I didn't want the spirits on me. But I realized that we are in dark times right now. This movie sat with me for 10 years, more,
Really?
however long
10
I did with
years?
Precious.
Like
14,
14,
yeah,
14.
since
Oh,
Precious.
wow.
Wow.
And I didn't do it then because I thought that it was I just thought it was horror only. And now I realize, you know, it was time to do it because it was about me finding my higher power, me finding the light. And so I got the courage to do it.
The courage that is, because before we actually watched the film, I did my own research. So I found the actual story in the Indie Star about the woman LaToya and going through this in 2011. And when I saw the film, I said, now, it was true events. It was really, really real, but was it based off something that we all kind of deal with, like the demons internally and externally?
Yeah, I think I'm glad you picked up on that, because I think that was a big point for him.
Right.
It's definitely based off true story. It's based off true events. It's based off of her real experience and the possession with the kids. Those things were real. But I think he also wanted to make it, because as he said, he needed some separation there as well. So he did want, and also I think anytime I work with you, you want your characters to have their life. Lee injects a lot of himself into these characters and then receives a lot of what his actors bring to these characters. So it was definitely based on a true story, but it's not just a horror film. And I think that's one of the things that we've wanted to be really clear about kind of during this press run, that this is, in my opinion, he's almost created like an entirely new genre. Like, this is very much a faith-based thriller. It's a soulful thriller, as someone had mentioned the other day. There are horror elements to it, but it's also a family drama, you know. And so I think it's really important. I always tell people, if you just think it's horror and you don't do horror, I think you would be remiss to not see the film, because there's transformation. We're talking about generational healing. Ebony, my character, is trying to heal a lot of trauma in her life and be the best mother she can be to her kids. So, and there's a spiritual aspect to it as well. And so I think that there's a family drama. There's a lot of spiritual aspect to it, you know. As Lee says, well, I don't want to say it for you, but you say it all the time. Lee always says his goal with this film was to scare you to your higher power. You know what I mean? For him, for myself, for Caleb, that's Jesus. For other people, it's Allah, it's Buddha, it's yourself. It's, you know, but you know, and I think that's the focus of the film, you know. So it's victorious in that way. So it's not just about scaring people, for sure. We scary, but it's not.
We scary.
I was scared because I was listening, going back to faith. I said I gotta get out my holy oil. And
Love
just
it.
tick, tick, tick. But what attracted you to the character when you first read the script?
Well, Well, I think the first thing that attracted me to the movie was working with him. You know, him and I did a movie called United States versus Billie Holiday together, and that's where. Oh yeah, you watched it.
That was awesome.
But that's where we really just built our relationship, you know. And so I have like complete trust in Lee. So whatever he does, I want to be a part of. But with this one, there was a little bit of sort of trepidation because of the subject matter. But I think what drew me to Ebony's character was that, she's a real person. And it sounds crazy to say in 2024, but it's not easy as a black woman to find fully realized characters, right? With depth and with range and, you know, real life stories and backstory and goals and objectives. And so, and I love her character because she's very honest. She is a woman whose mother was abused, and so her mother abused her. But she's trying to do the best she can do with what it is that she has. She's a single mom. She's a budding alcoholic. She, you know, she's not just fighting the demons that are actually possessing her kids, but she's fighting her own personal demons. And so, what I also love about it is that I was, you know, a lot of people would ask, and I've had people ask me even, well, how can you be? I'm a Christian, right? So how can you be a Christian? How can you do a movie that talks about demons?
Right.
And I'm like, we should be talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's what I was reminded going into this, that those things, we have victory over those things, that we have to be light in dark places. And his goal for this movie was different. It wasn't just about scary. He had a purpose for what he was doing. That's what drew me to the movie, was the intention behind it, you know?
I mean, Netflix wanted a bunch of jump scares in the beginning. They didn't understand where I was going with it. They wanted it like scary, boom, 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 boom. And like, no, the scare is she gonna knock these kids upside her head. You know what I mean? That's the scare.
Yeah, right.
The scare is he called his mother a bitch in the movie, okay? Wait a minute, okay? That's the scare right there.
Especially in black homes.
Yeah, I think that the church, there will be some controversy with the church when they see it, because is it a faith-based film when there's lots of cursing in the film? But you know, Jesus walked with hookers. Jesus walked with alcoholics.
He did, yeah.
With the derelicts, he was a G, you know, in finding God. And so I think that either you are spiritual or you're political. You know?
Well, like this movie definitely, to my knowledge, is one of the first real intersections of the black church in exorcism.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we don't really do that.
Right.
That's a good point, right? Yeah, no, we don't play.
do that.
We're going to
don't
pray
play
it
right,
off.
yeah.
Right. Everybody going to church every day.
Not the black church, so that was an interesting aspect of it all. And Caleb, I had to ask you, what was it like dealing with Mom during this movie? Because you was on a nice little roller coaster ride, without spoiling it, but you need to see it on Netflix. August 30th, go see it. What was it like with Mom?
I mean, what do
The
you mean?
truth.
Like, what? How was it like?
Be
The
nice
whole
to me.
process of it all.
Oh, I mean, working with Andra was an honor. After watching her performance in playing Billie Holiday, just how like she's an artist, and we've had great conversations. If you look at her script, it's just a bunch of notes. So I'm like, I'm dealing with a true like thespian, you know what I mean? So being able to share the screen with her, and you know, even talk about our personal lives, getting advice. She's, you know, a great mentor as well. I mean, besides, I think, wait, what can I say? I can't say much, right?
Well,
about
We're
the
not
Better
giving
not
it
say
away.
much about the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how can I explain? There's a scene that we had to do, and
You can a little bit.
she's really strong.
You got muscles?
Physically.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that's what she called. Yeah,
She's
yeah,
mad
yeah.
strong.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. They're actors, and then there's artists, and these are artists, and I like to surround myself with artists. You know, I produce a lot of television too, so you know that. So I'm in that world, but when I'm directing something, I like to work with people that are committed to the craft, that are serious about the craft, that don't have time to understand. There's no time for me being politically correct
I know that's
or
right.
worrying about being canceled. Do you know what I mean? I have to be able to express myself, and there are expressions of me, and I tell you, it was the most. I mean, I get moved by it because I feel blessed to have worked with Monique, and I mean, just really blessed to work with my sister again, and Glenn Close and Ajanou Ellis. Like these are artistes.
yes.
You know what I mean? That don't come to the playground without some candy for Big Daddy.
I know that's right.
You know what I mean?
Here we go. Here we are.
Andrew, I wanted to ask you, like you're kind of getting started, but you know you won a Golden Globe. Like
Thank you.
have surpassed a lot of OGs that's in the business.
Yeah.
And you've done phenomenal.
Thank
so,
you.
but being around like some of the veterans such as Glenn Close and Omar Epps and Ingenue, was it a little intimidating being on screen with them? And did you come in as like, oh, I am this, but did you go and like get advice from them? Like, how was it being on set with all of them?
Oh,
did they critique you?
Yeah.
What was it like?
All of the above.
Okay.
All of the things. You know, did you get to finish what you were saying too? I don't know if you got to finish.
Remember what I was saying.
Okay, well, we'll come back to. I just wanted to make sure. I was like, did you get to? Okay.
I ain't want to cut my boy off. Did we cut my boy off?
No, you good.
A little bit, Big Daddy.
No, I can't.
No, I don't ever want to cut him off.
It's all good.
Because we got to get him to talk.
Right. No, he'll try to pass the mic quick. Right. Yeah, no.
Oh, we're coming back. We're coming back to you.
No. No.
We're coming back to you.
I just don't want to get fined.
Just here, 'cause-
No, it was that way with all of the actors on set. Getting on set with Caleb, getting on set with Demi, with AJ, with Glenn, with Monique, with Ingenue, with Omar, with Tasha. It just, yes, it was absolutely intimidating, and it's not lost on me. You're right. I am new to this. And fortunately, by God's grace and generosity, this was the first director I've ever worked with, and so I don't know if it would have gone the same if it was a different person. So I was definitely intimidated, but I also understand, I need to show up and I need to be prepared. I need to be a well for my character and a well for other people's characters because they're going to come with the work, and so being on set with all of them, I learned a lot. I learned a lot from his process. He's a beast of an actor. Like, I learned a lot from his process, how he's able to do certain things that I'm not able to do. Like, the way Caleb can tap in very quickly is not something for me. Like, I need a lot of time to rev up. And so I learned that from a few people on set. He's like that. Monique is like that, so it was a learning experience for me. It was great being able to just watch them and to learn from them. But also, they poured into me, you know what I'm saying, and embraced me. And so, it was intimidating, but at the same time, when you're on set, it's sort of like, okay, I can either let it intimidate me and like kind of be, it's like the fight or flight thing. I still have to show up though, you know what I'm saying? And I have to perform. And it needs to be enough for them to respond to, for them to react to, for him to be able to put a movie together. So it's a blessing. It's also not lost on me that like, how well it went, especially the first time, and like how the community of actors has embraced me. But I think it's also because sometimes you have this I think there's a lot of people who don't work in acting or don't work in film that have this misconception that it's like you just come in and you can pretend really good and you'll be so good and you don't have. It's a lot. There are people who go to school for this for years. Like, it's a lot of work. I had to just take those years and do it in a shorter period of time. But the commitment was still there. The sacrifice was still there. So it matters. And they've been doing this for years, so I had to show up for them.
You did phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
Caleb McLaughlin, Andrew Day, and the director in this particular situation. Mr. Big Daddy here with the Big Chicken Morning Show on B103. You mentioned you're reuniting with Monique. How was that after such a public? Such a
Really
public.
Beautiful. We worked on. She didn't know this, but I was working on something. She didn't know this, but I was working on something called The Reading. It was a movie that she was in. A young filmmaker came to me with this movie. Okay. I help a lot of young filmmakers out with independent films, and so this kid came up to not a kid, but Courtney came up to me with this unfinished film, and he said, "Can you help me with it?" And so I spent 4 or 5 months helping him edit the film. Okay. It was Monique that was starring in the film, and I was preparing two things. You saw The Reading with Monique. That was a horror movie. So I was preparing for my horror movie through that horror movie. So I was helping him, but he was really helping me too. You know what I mean? But as I was editing the film, I realized that there was just no part of my journey was finding my higher power. And that meant I'm 65. I wanted to. Tomorrow's not promised. So I just wanted to say, I love you. Whatever it was that I did to you, I'm sorry. And it was beautiful and it was powerful. Not only am I gonna tell you that I'm sorry, but I'm gonna put you in my movie. You know what I mean? and we gonna do it again.
Right.
And you're not gonna play what you played in Precious. You're gonna play the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stuff you in something fierce.
I love
you know what I mean? And put some jewelry on you. And we were like kids in the playground again. It was really just spectacular.
That was refreshing. I really love that. Now, I know you said that some of the parts in the movie got so heavy to where you all actually had to have a preacher on set almost every day to pray.
Yep.
Tell me a
Caleb's
little-
dad's a preacher too.
He's a reverend.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he on set?
He
He
prayed
definitely
for
anointed
us too.
Yeah, he definitely
He said he
several
did. I
times.
remember that. Yeah.
anointed me a lot and lighted, smoked out my trailer in moments as well.
With like sage?
Yeah, sage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta be clear. when
Even-
you say
even
smoke
Tucker-
out.
I was like,
Yeah, no, not that kind of smoke out.
Sage with Sage.
The sage.
The real.
They know what we mean.
They know what I mean. But even
Yeah.
Tucker, he smoked out Tucker's trailer as well.
It's the way you say it though.
Yeah,
that's
a smoke
well,
out.
I mean,
But we
already
spiritual people, we kind of know like what the smoking
Yes,
out
we
means
know,
because you know
yes.
you take the sage and you burn it and you
Frankincense,
smoke out the
frankincense,
spirit.
To clarify. Frankincense.
Yes,
Amen.
Yeah, amen.
But having a preacher on,
But we had besides his dad, we had Apostle Lewis who also is a deliverer. And he prayed through us, and Andra and I prayed before we shot every scene.
I love it.
Because listen, I read that book, The Making of Exorcist. I read that book, The Making of, what was that movie, Poltergeist?
Poltergeist? Yeah,
No, it was not happening on my set. So it did. A couple of things did happen, but not to that extreme.
Wait,
I think
like,
because
what
we were so
happened?
crazy.
No, like, what happened?
What really happened on set? Like something
Yeah, just little
paranormal?
things, little weird
Like
things that were happening.
what?
Like something popped in her. What's it called? The fire extinguisher popped back when she was putting a demon out.
In my eye.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What?
My dog died. Yeah.
wow, sorry.
Just weird things were happening, and you could feel it, and it was important that we prayed.
Okay.
Yeah.
That. Yeah, don't leave me out of
I
this.
know. Like my grandmother, she was very spiritual. So I remember we were watching the movie Ghost, and right after that, like one of us were fighting. It's just
Right.
don't bring
Yeah.
that in my house ever again.
Right.
So how did you get the character off of you after you've done with the film? That
I don't
question's
know
for you
if
and
she's
you too.
completely off of me yet.
Really?
See, we joke about this all the time. I feel like
She needs another
I
character.
need another character
Because it
to,
took
like,
Billy.
know.
It
Yeah.
took.
Oh,
This
Oh,
guy
yeah.
got Billy
Tattoos.
Holiday.
Oh yeah,
What'd you
yeah.
say?
He said
He still got the tattoos of the kid's name on her
Yes.
arm.
Sit, let me see.
These are the tattoos. They're still.
this was supposed to
That's
have
so
been
crazy.
fully faded by now,
What in
but
the
it did not
world?
fade.
Years.
That
That's
was
crazy.
That's been 2
That's
years.
Caleb. This is Demi, and that is AJ right there.
And it will not come off.
No, you know what's sad too? It's unfortunate. I ain't got no kids. So I feel so bad when people salute me. They're like 3 kids. I'm like, right? No, before you dap me up.
Listen.
These are not my
Maybe.
children. They're like nieces and nephews. No, they're not even real. They
Well, you
don't
want
even
kids though,
exist.
right?
Yeah,
You
I
want
do.
kids?
So
Well-
eventually, I'm just gonna switch it out for
There's your
for
3
their
right
names.
there. That's probably
No,
manifested.
I think that it was like, I don't know. I spent time in Philly because like he didn't want it to be so on the nose Philly, but that's where like the inspiration was
Right.
coming
Came
from
from.
because that's
And
where
if
he's
you
from.
really listen to her vocal, she has the Philadelphia accent
like-
down to a T. And those from Philadelphia, they
No,
here's
here's the problem, and this is why acting. I was like, maybe I might need to take a little break or something, because literally I get people now that will still be like, "You from Philly?" I'm like, "Damn it!" I'm like, "No, I'm not actually."
That's a good thing.
But no, but it's good. It's great for the
Yeah.
character. It's really good. You know what I mean? But also she deserves the characters. I think, especially you working with him, the characters deserve that level of commitment. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't know. As far as like detoxing, I'm a praying person. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I just feel like if God brought me somewhere, he bring you to, he gonna bring you through it. Right? That old saying. And so I don't know. I spend my life just trusting God, and then and whatever goes, and whatever's meant to stay, stays. Because it's funny, things change us in life. You know what I
does.
mean?
It
So
does.
like, I think that scary stuff is happening. We just talked about the movie. What was that?
In the name
a
of
portal?
Jesus.
Was that a portal? Right? We rebuke
That
it.
was just a
We
chair
rebuke
moving.
it. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I mean, I heard you speak in tongues, so talk to him.
right, exactly. Now's the time.
That's something interesting too. She
heard
was
about
written. It was written that she, there was a scene that was written, and then she started speaking in tongue, and the AD didn't know what tongue was. She was like, "Well, is this is not scripted, sir? We're gonna cut." I go, "No, you're not.
Because that
you're
was
not.
good.
There you go. It's God working.
That was good.
It's her. That's all, the reason why only one person could have played this role. Someone that is a believer. And for even for him, you know, that he's a believer. He's eating his flesh off of his, you know.
Yeah, come on, man. They got August 30th.
Oh yeah,
I know
August
you're giving
30th.
it
Oops,
away.
sorry.
Come on,
Y'all
dude.
can cut that.
not
Can
to
you
give
edit
too
that?
much
Is this
away,
live?
you know?
Is this live?
Yeah,
It's live?
not live.
Okay,
We'll
good.
cut it. But we're trying to not to give too much
Okay,
away
yeah.
because we saw the film, but
Yeah.
Well, listen,
it was
Netflix
amazing.
August 30th. The stuff that you didn't hear him just say. The director in this situation.
In a situation, yo. Where you from?
I'm from the Bronx, New York.
A situation, same difference. Philadelphia, Bronx, New York.
Situation. You hear me? Thank you all for delivering the deliverance to us and pulling up here this morning. Really quickly, Caleb, what else you got bubbling, stirring in the pot? Are we Stranger Thinging it some more?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Stranger Things, Deliverance. Working on music.
Nice.
Okay.
I know, yeah, because you know what it is like. A lot of people don't know my background, so I'd rather just like, you know, when the music comes out, talk about it. But yeah,
Okay.
I started off on theater and everything, and I've always loved performing. And favorite artist of all time is Stevie Wonder, so I want to
nice.
I want to approach it the right way.
Okay.
I love
But right now, the Deliverance with these
Deliverance.
amazing people.
Andra?
So,
I got the privilege of hearing some stuff. He's amazing. you
Okay.
guys.
Thank you.
Pow.
Yeah, no, the Deliverance right now. We do have the new album that's out as well too. I also do music, so the album.
I also
thank
do
you.
music.
So good.
That's
So good.
So good.
you're amazing.
I also do music.
I know, right? She just threw it away like, oh.
I don't be knowing these days. I be like, where am I at? No. The new album is called Cassandra (Cherith), so it's out now. We're
got a new
doing
movie.
You said, and we do have another movie
Yeah.
that comes out in October
Not
called
me, but her.
Exhibiting Forgiveness.
Okay.
With the director Titus Kaffar. It stars Andre Hall and Ingenue Ellis again. We got to work together
Love,
again.
by the way,
John
love
Jelks,
Ingenue.
yeah,
She's
she's
fantastic.
really phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yes,
She's crazy.
and John
Love
Jelks, who
her.
was amazing in this. So it's just a story of forgiveness. You know, a story of forgiveness. That comes out in October. So a few things in the works.
Yeah, a lot of
Daniels.
things.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a ton of things, but
I
you
know
know,
you do.
I can't talk about them right now.
You gotta
But right now the it's all about the Deliverance,
Okay.
and I'm just how grateful I am. It took me 2 years almost to edit this film, and maybe 14 years to get it to up there. So I'm just grateful to God for it. Yeah.
Amen.
Well, keep up the good work.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Please do.
Thank you.
In the moment,
Please
the
do.
movie, we're not gonna talk about that. Might feature
No.
me. Since I was on the TV show, and I'm gonna leave it right there.
Oh, that's right. He was on Star. You heard it right here. It's coming back.
Look at his
Ooh,
face.
the frenzy.
I'm just gonna smile. That's all I'm gonna do is smile. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all check it out on Netflix on
Yes.
August 30th. The Deliverance. Caleb McLaughlin, Andra Day, Lee Daniels. Thank you for being here this morning.
you. Thank
And
you
we
for having us.
all encourage you to watch it, but get your oils and your crosses and get to your higher power while being scared out your damn mind. We'll be back with more Big Ticket Morning Show with Jasmine McBee right after this on B103.